You may not realize this, but Western New York has a strong connection to the civil rights movement. In fact, an early version of the NAACP was actually created in a home on Michigan Avenue on Buffalo's east side.
Yeah, but long before that, this region played a pivotal role in helping slaves get to freedom. And now Buffalo's Courtney Corbetta checks out some Williamsville spots with ties to the Underground Railroad.
Within this 1 square mile village, there are stories to be told, some of which date back to the early 1800s. Just ask Mary Lothar. The president of the Williamsville Historical Society and former village mayor takes pride in the area's rich history.
We have a number of areas right here in our little square mile village that we suspect were probably areas that helped slaves when they were trying to make it across the border into Canada.
Making the village of Williamsville at one time a possible pathway to freedom. Evidence points to one of the most celebrated landmarks in the area, the Eagle House.
And this was a potential stop on the Underground Railroad.
Yes, my understanding is that there are passageways built in the back of the building.
Built in the 1830s, the village's popular restaurant originally served as a tavern.
So right under here is a framed entrance to a dirt tunnel, which would have ultimately headed that way.
That way leads to the heart of the village. What was once the Williamsville water mill is now the home of Sweet Jenny's. But beneath the mill is a series of cellar caverns, which some people speculate may have served a role on the Underground Railroad.
For some time, we've had psychics and paranormal investigators come through, so people have their own suspicions and ideas about what might have occurred here in the past. Some ties to the Underground Railroad, some ties to a lot of the industry that was going on here and people who still might be attached to the building in some way.
It is said that fugitive slaves would then make their way to Ellicott Creek and continue on their flight to freedom north into Canada.
It's plausible, if not widely documented, that it could have been used for the Underground Railroad.
All of this is word of mouth, stories passed on from generation to generation.
There's a lot of different history, a lot of unique history, and things that people don't really have a clue about. And once you start digging into it, it really gets to be a lot of fun.
For the Now Buffalo, I'm Courtney Corbetta.
Courtney, thank you. I think sometimes we forget how much history really is here in Western New York.
Yeah, I just learned so much from that story.
I know.
Alone.
It makes you want to learn more, really.
Exactly.